Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Premier Championship Wrestling.
Your opening contest is scheduled for one fall.
My name is Joe Dombrowski, and I am joined by Benjamin C. Steele. This is Premier Championship Wrestling Powder Keg. It is July 15th, 2017, and we got a jam-packed card for you tonight. Maybe the most loaded show in Premier Championship Wrestling history. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Steele.
The pleasure is all yours, Joe Dombrowski. I grace the city with my presence yet again.
I see. Well, gracing us with his presence in this opening contest is going to be a man who refers to himself as an all-star. Ganon Jones Jr. has formed a partnership in recent months with the heir apparent Chris LaRusso. LaRusso is not here this evening, though. Ganon's going to have to go on his own. He does not seem to be in a good mood about that fact.
Well, it's a lot harder to concentrate when you don't have your friend, your confidant, your partner there with you. It'd be like me trying to do commentary without you. Or you trying to do commentary without me. We just work so well, Joe. Stick with me, kid.
Well, Ganon feels that the office is out to get him, which I can say firsthand is not true, but he's a little paranoid, and he feels like he and LaRusso have one another's interests at hand and in mind, and without that backup, Ganon thinks that he's a victim of the system, and we'll see. This gentleman we're about to see was a victim of Ganon Jones Jr. back in the month of April. Finally gets his chance for retribution here tonight.
Joe, if I may ask, why are you trying to hold Ganon Jones Jr. down? What do you have against Pro Wrestling's All-Star?
I'll address that in a minute, but first I want to talk about that steel chair in the hand of Jackson Stone, the Suplex Shogun. That's the very same chair that was bent across the back of Jackson Stone back in the month of April, cost Jackson Stone a matchup one-on-one with Chris LaRusso. And Jackson has not forgotten about that. He has waited a long time to get his revenge. Ganon, keep in mind, served a 60-day suspension after his assault on referee Joe McCoy. And he's back. Hopefully he's on his best behavior. And hopefully he is ready to contend with a very angry Jackson Stone, who has every right to be upset with the All-Star.
Well, Joe, if I may, first of all, I think that suspension was unfair. I think what was done to Joe McCoy was justified. I'd like to see it done to Dave Dawson. I'd like to see it done to Jackson Stone. I'd like to see it done to you, quite frankly, because not only is Ganon Jones Jr. Pro Wrestling's All-Star, he's PCW's All-Star, but he's the pride of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as well. So I think you should do the right thing and show a little bit more respect to Mr. Jones.
And these are a couple of heavy hitters, Ganon Jones Jr. and Jackson Stone. Usually two of the toughest athletes to maneuver around in the course of a matchup. Would that be fair to say?
Well, that is, but that was a mistake there by Ganon Jones Jr., turning his back on the big man right there, the power man as well.
Yeah, in the early going, we've already seen both Stone and Ganon elevated off of their feet. Most months, you don't see that happen once, and we're already seeing it in the early going.
We've got Jackson Stone on the offensive right now, and that's something that Ganon Jones Jr. is used to. He's used to kind of running things his way, having control of the show, and the one thing that we haven't seen a ton of is his defensive game as well. We saw it right there.
Ganon connects with the boot, and Jackson Stone in a bad way right now. And to address your question during Jackson Stone's entrance about why I'm allegedly holding down Ganon Jones Jr. and keeping him from realizing his potential.
Wait. I didn't say allegedly. I said you are.
I understand that. But the bottom line is you look at Ganon Jones Jr.'s history in Premier Championship Wrestling, nearly spotless win-loss record, individual who was a part of the Premier Championship tournament, a gentleman who was granted a return match against the winner of that Premier Championship tournament the next month, an individual that's facing one of the best rising stars in this company today, Jackson Stone. If I'm holding back Ganon Jones Jr., I got a funny way of showing it, because this guy's got nothing but opportunity over the months, and more often than not, he has not just survived, but he's thrived.
Well, all of that may be true, but you suspend a guy, you take money out of his pocket, you take food off the table.
Yeah, because he assaulted a referee completely unprovoked. He didn't agree with a call, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with a call. 2 count there, says referee Dawson. But to drop a referee, not a trained wrestler, but a referee right on the top of his head, risk serious injury to that young man. This is completely uncalled for. I want people to respect the law and order of this company, and I'm not talking about respecting my law and order, my authority, or my word. The referees' decisions are final out there, okay? I'm just a broadcaster when I'm sitting at this table. And the referees are the ones that have to carry out those rules. More often than not, they do a great job. And check out that agility by Ganon Jones Jr. Man, I give him credit. He makes it look effortless. 2 count only.
I was going to say, makes it look effortless right there with the cover. And you know what? I will say maybe a little too far, but you got to admit, it was pretty funny.
No, it wasn't funny.
It was. I've watched that clip so many times. Oh, every time I see it, it's great. Want to see it? I got it on my phone here.
No, I don't. I would like to watch this matchup. I'd like to watch Ganon try it to Jackson Stone and see what happens, because I feel like the result's going to be different.
Man, you're feisty. We're in the first matchup here, and you're already feisty and laying things out.
Well, look at the kind of accusations you've thrown at me, the kind of, unfair business practices you've alleged me of, and I'm sure you've put some of these thoughts in Ganon Jones Jr.'s ear and even further riled him up. I don't need him calling the office and emailing the office and just complaining even more. This guy, he'll find anything to complain about. He's one of those guys who's just never happy.
Well, it's always striving for greatness. As we see the greatness right there as he takes down Jackson Stone.
I mean, well, spring in with a senton, and Ganon's showing some agility. And maybe a bit more so than usual out of Ganon Jones Jr., although he is a deceptively good athlete without a doubt. But knowing he's got to maybe shake up his game a little bit to stop Jackson Stone, who packs a lot of power in his own right.
Well, I've talked about it before. Guys that are the size of Ganon Jones Jr. shouldn't be able to fly like they do. And the same can be said for Jackson Stone. You know, you think of big men, lumbering, power, et cetera, but these guys can both move and can agile, and they can fly, and they can, as we see right there, just a nice roll through here. There's really no weakness to either man's game.
Now, Ganon was hot at me this past week when he found out that Chris LaRusso would not be able to be at ringside with him.
You know, that's another thing. Mr. LaRusso texted me. He's also very unhappy.
Oh, look at this! Back suplex by Jackson Stone. That's going to make Ganon even more unhappy. Stacks him up 2-0.
You're just lucky you have me here to mediate for you.
Excuse me?
Could you imagine what would happen if you didn't have me in your life?
Oh, I think about that often. Oh, man, high angle back suplex, traps the shoulders. That's why they call him the suplex shogun. Jackson Stone has so much power behind everything he does. He really gets the most out of each and every suplex. Jackson near the 300-pound mark and certainly puts all of his weight behind everything he does. God, what a clothesline.
I think Ganon just got turned inside out. We saw the front row jump up after that one, and Ganon's hurt. Ganon needs a breather. He needs a timeout. He needs a brief regroup, if you will.
That was a shot that would make Stan Hansen proud. Jackson Stone has completely dazed Ganon Jones Jr. Referee with a count, but Jackson Stone to his feet. Ganon Jones Jr. is still not sure where he is.
Well, I said that it turned him inside out. It scrambled his brain. He's a little discombobulated out there.
Can Jackson Stone put Ganon Jones Jr. away?
And Joe, this is what I talked about. The high rent district, to coin a phrase. Jackson Stone not afraid to go there, and this could be bad for Ganon.
Ganon is prone as the suplex shogun takes a chance, but nobody there in the elbow.
Smart move. Maybe a little bit of possum playing by Ganon Jones Jr. You know, I left that out earlier. He's also a very intelligent individual. Something that you could have brought up. You're the guy with all the facts.
He's intelligent. Buries the boot. Does Ganon Jones Jr. Will this do it? No! And again, the mood changes on the face of Pro Wrestling's All-Star.
Well, it went from jovial and happy to a tad salty, if I may.
Well, you got to believe Ganon, in his mind, knew that was going to be it.
Well, Ganon has a large arsenal.
Nobody there for the knee. And Jackson with a pounce! Ganon folded up across the ring ropes. This could do it. Jackson Stone deep hook in the leg. The suplex. Shogun gets some retribution.
Wait a minute, Joe, look, his foot's on the rope.
Match is already over.
Duh.
Most intelligent point you've ever made. Jackson Stone emerges victorious over Pro Wrestling's All-Star, but you gotta believe, though, Ganon and Chris LaRusso, for that matter, will have a response sooner than later. Plenty more action still to come here at Powder Keg. 3 months in the making, but Jackson Stone gets the job done.